Yo, Joe, what's up, man?
Yo, Dion, what's up? What you doing, man?
Nothing much, just cooking an egg.
Did you just say you're cooking an egg? What are you cooking an egg with?
Just beer and paprika.
Bro, like, god dang it. Well, what the heck you been smoking, bro? Like, what's going on? Are you calling me up so late? I'm busy.
Nothing much, this new Call of Duty, man, got me tripped out, man.
Man, what? Another Call of Duty, bro? What does it have? Freaking jetpacks again? Like, what's...
Yeah, it has jetpacks, man. Advanced Warfare. It just came out 2 days ago.
Came out 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Bro, the Advanced Warfare?
Oh, man, I must have really been smoking then.
That game came out 2 years ago. What the heck, bro? What the heck you smoking?
Yeah, I think it is World War II.
What, a World War II Call of Duty? Bro, you're kidding, right?
Yeah, Call of Duty, yeah.
We're getting a World War II Call of Duty?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up.
Well, you're gonna pick up Call of Duty World War II?
Dude, you know we gotta try it out, just for old time's sake.
Well, then for this one, man, I mean, I think we're gonna have to get the squad back together. That's what we're gonna have to do, man.
Hell yeah, man, let's do it.
Call of Duty Saving Private Ryan Edition. No, you see, Call of Duty and, like, okay guys, by no means do I hate Call of Duty. I actually think that Call of Duty used to be one of the best war games that, you know, pretty much ever existed. And in my opinion, I think after Modern Warfare 2, I'm pretty sure that I felt the series kind of go downhill. And I've always wanted the game, like the new games of Call of Duty, to kind of like just live up to what they used to be. You know, they used to be really great games. The Call of Duty games used to mean something, you know, to like when a person would play. When you heard the name or when you hear the title Call of Duty, you always would think of, like, you know, soldiers who are getting called to, you know, called to battle, you know, to answer that Call of Duty, you know, to get on the front lines and fight. And that's really what Call of Duty used to stand for. But as it went on into more futuristic tones like Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, that realism kind of left, and the games never held up. You know, they were never up to my expectations, because to me it was really kind of like just more cinematic set pieces. But this is World War II, and I was really excited for this game. I was really looking forward to playing it. And did this game really live up to my expectations? Not really. After years of Call of Duty fans, we were begging Activision to kind of like take us back to World War II and stuff. After years of it, we're finally getting it. We're getting boots on the ground, I'm not kidding, that they've, over like every interview that I've heard with Activision employees or developers, game developers, Sledgehammer, it's always boots on the ground this, boots on the ground that. And it is boots on the ground. There are no jetpacks, but I don't think that this game holds up to the expectations of many fans, or older fans like me and like a bunch of my friends. Like, we wanted to go back and play a real Call of Duty game. It's not something that I think that is as good as it could have been. You see, the game, it impresses me, and then it doesn't at the same time. First off, let's talk about the campaign, I'm going to just tell you guys straight up, the campaign is a straight up ripoff of Saving Private Ryan. Like, you can almost see the entire movie unfold of Saving Private Ryan in this campaign.
Get your head down and keep moving! Daniel! On me! Take the Bangalore and get to the seawall! Get a clear path to the bunker! Daniel! This is what you trained for! Now pick up that banger! You can do this! Yes, sir! Oh, Jesus!
By no means is this game meant to be historically accurate or anything like that. I was actually reading up on reviews, or not reviews, interviews on Sledgehammer games and stuff, and they were more focused on being politically correct and not offending anybody. Which, in my opinion, I think that's one of the bigger things that hurt the campaign and really the overall gaming experience in the multiplayer is just not having that sense of immersion. I'll talk about that a little more when I get into multiplayer, because in the campaign there is some pretty graphic stuff, and I don't think that it really, them being politically correct really shined as much as it did in the campaign or as it did in multiplayer.
Same plan! Get to the seawall! Help it, James! Get the Bangalore to the wire! Fast! Everybody ready! Here we go! Drop the ramp! There's no cover! That was an order, goddammit! Drop it! Over the side!
You're immediately thrown into the action, and you know, you can already feel like kind of that weight of like, you know, just pushing those beaches, and you just feel like a regular soldier. That's what I like. You feel like this regular guy who's just going into battle. But when characters start developing, you know, the characters for different people, it's just, they're more cliche characters.
And Schmeling's a Nazi. I'd shoot him in a heartbeat.
Now, they made him their poster boy. That guy didn't have a choice.
We all got a choice.
You know, Nietzsche said there was only strong...
That's enough mouth. All right. What about Lewis versus Sugar Ray
If
Robinson?
we're talking 1938, Lewis Robinson wins hands down.
Hey.
Look who came back for more.
I thought you were out another week.
Not after I heard a bunch of tough SOBs were about to take Marigny.
Well, playbook's working. At this rate, we'll be home by Christmas. Don't just stand there. Let's see.
All right.
They're not characters that you would really care about, and you are meant to care about these characters because certain scenes happen in the game, and it's just, it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel real, if you know what I mean. I feel like I'm watching a movie. Especially, there's this one guy in there, he's ripped off from Transformers. It's the same actor. I don't know the actor's name, but it's that soldier, the one that's leading he's in all the Transformers movies, I believe. I didn't see the last one, but he's the main soldier guy. You guys could probably point him out immediately when you see him. They did a really good job with his face. He looks freaking real as hell.
Welcome to the bloody first. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
It just, when I saw his face popped up on screen, like in the first scene of the campaign, it's just like, oh, okay, it looked good, but it bothered me a little bit, because it's just like, I feel like I'm watching a movie. I couldn't get that out of my head, like, oh, this guy, you're from a movie. I feel like I'm playing with actors, almost, you know? And I really wanted that sense of immersion of just seeing faces I didn't see, faces that these developers would create, or, you know, like get some unknown actors or something, just throw them in there, because all the acting in here, it's all good. They did really good on it. The acting is really good. Just the scenes in the campaign, most of them, like, they're just too cinematic, and it just takes away from the realism. I don't want to compare this game to Battlefield 1, but it's kind of hard when Battlefield 1 did it better, and they kind of just introduced random characters, or like just stories of soldiers. This one is kind of following that same step of a story of a soldier, and you follow his story through the campaign. But in the end, this soldier, he really sounded like Forrest Gump in the beginning. He's from Texas or something, and it's just, he just sounded too similar to Tom Hanks' Forrest Gump or something like that. And I just think they could have picked someone better and just not, I guess, don't rely too much, too heavy on that Western accent to kind of make it a different character. It seemed too similar, if you know what I mean.
There's Lieutenant Turner. He's got him on a tight leash. But if Pearson breaks free, we'll all get bit. Ever since I could hold a rifle, I wanted to be like you, Paul. You've always been a tough act to follow. But I'm damn sure gonna try.
Now, as the campaign progressed, I started playing the game. I tried focusing on the campaign more, but there's some things, it just knocked me out of the campaign. Like, I just didn't care about these soldiers at all. And as the campaign went on, yes, it did get a little bit better, but at the same time, as it got better, you could just predict what was going to happen and coming, what was going to happen on this scene and what was going to happen on that scene. And now that I think about it, through the campaign, there was no set goal, really. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, we're going to go to this mission. Okay, now we're going to go to that mission. Oh, this thing happened historically. Let's go look at that real quick. And it's just, they captured all these historical events or whatever, but they didn't really build up a story. They didn't build up these soldiers enough to where I could care about them or want to continue fighting with them, because the campaign was all over the place if you really look at it, because it was just like different missions, just going to different ones. There's no set goal, there's no set antagonist. Not saying that it would be, not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's just to carry a story on, to have a goal is pretty much like the whole point of a story, or at least of the campaign. And at no point in the game or the campaign did I feel like I was set, there was a goal in mind. There's this one scene in the campaign with the train and some car. There's a couple of car chases in the game, but this one scene with the train, that's when, for me, the campaign, I just kind of like, oh yeah, this is a cinematic story, because this game can be so on rails at times. The campaign, it just doesn't feel like you're in control of anything. You're not a soldier. You're just along for the ride of a 5-hour campaign, which campaign missions, they're really short. You could beat it in like 5 or 6 hours. And this train mission, I don't think I got recorded footage, but if I do, it's going to play right now.
I got it! Thing's coming apart! Stop! Shit!
The train freaking, it's just so over the top. I was chuckling. I couldn't, because so much destruction caused by one train. It just looked too cinematic, and it just took me out. Like it was just like, okay, that's a little bit.
Daniels, where the hell are you? I'm coming, hang on!
Holy shit. Did that just happen?
Can't believe we made it.
That's one for the books. I hope Styles had his camera.
Pearson might even get off our asses for 5 damn minutes.
Look out!
Follow me. I'll take you to your platoon.
I'm sorry. Who the hell are you?
A friend. No hurry.
Now, as a story, by no means is the campaign, am I saying that it's bad, but it's just nothing that we haven't seen before. We've seen this a million times. We've seen set pieces like these. We've seen a bunch of stuff. There are some really great shots in the campaign. There's some scenes where, like, you're running through all these bombs and, like, trees are falling in the forest and everything. There are cool scenes like that, and scenes that just capture the feeling of being a soldier and being really helpless when you're being ambushed. There are scenes like that. That just, they make me feel like I wanted to in a Call of Duty game, the way it was meant to feel. But then immediately it can be interrupted by some cutscene or quick time event that you have to do, and it's just like, oh, okay, you know, it's more cinematic bullcrap that is just like, okay, I've seen this before in many games. Now, with the campaign aside, I think I've covered pretty much everything I can say about the campaign. Really, it's just Saving Private Ryan or, you know, some Medal of Honor type missions and stuff like that. I really think that if they would have let us play as a different side, not saying that we have to play as the Nazi Germany side, but play as forces like already fighting against Germany before America entered the World War II battle, it's just, I think that would have been more clever if we would just kind of jumped into different boots, you know, or play as, you know, someone else fighting against Nazi Germany. I think that would have been a little bit more better, and then have somewhere towards the middle of the game have the US invade, you know, or storm the beaches and all that stuff. It would have been a lot better to just play as someone else other than, you know, the same missions we've already done before. So I think they could have really benefited from that. Alright, that's enough about the campaign. Let's talk about multiplayer, because multiplayer is kind of where people they're gonna go play it. And let me just tell you guys that if you're expecting something slower paced and like more Call of Duty-ish, I mean original Call of Duty, it's there. I mean, it's just, it feels more at the end of the day, this game feels more of a reskin of World War II. Like, it looks like Call of Duty plays exactly the way Call of Duty should play. So you could be running around and everything. It's just, it's fast paced. It's fast paced, chicken without a head running around the map and stuff. And one of my biggest problems of this game is that immediately when we started playing a multiplayer, me and my friends, we noticed that these maps feel like recycled maps from previous Call of Duty games. You have your beach, or not, you have your ship map that's pretty much ripped off from that one map from Black Ops 2. I don't know the name of the map, I'm sorry, but I don't. But you guys know what I'm talking about. That ship map from Call of Duty Black Ops 2, you know, when we're in that ship. It's in here, only with the different World War II skin of being on the USS Texas. That's the name of the ship. There's just one other map. It has a train in the middle. And that map is almost like a knockoff version of Modern Warfare. It's two map. It's the snow map. Same thing, there's a train in the middle. There's a... I can't even remember the names of the maps. Are you crazy? Just a lot of these maps, they feel more the same. They feel like the same maps. And not only that, my biggest problem was that all these maps are tiny. These are tiny maps. So it just encourages people to just run around and just jump right in the battle and the action. So you have no air to breathe before, you know, like, you're getting shot at. So you can get shot at, you die, and then, like, boom, there it is. Like, you respawn and you jump right back in. Oh, and there's another guy right there. It's really, whoever can spawn trap the fastest and do it the best, that's how it's going to work. Because there have been times where I go games where I'm just like, I'm 45 and like 7 just by spawn camping. And this game encourages camping. So if you guys are thinking like, maybe there's more open spaces, more bigger maps, no. All these maps are probably, I think the biggest map there is the one with the train in the middle. I still don't know the name of that map. That's probably the biggest map in here. All the other maps are probably the size of Rust from Modern Warfare 2 or Nuketown. Like, they're that small. I'm not even joking.
Help.
Enemy controls Baker.
Oh, that didn't work. The weapons, I do like the weapons. They're a little more better. They're more balanced and stuff. And there's just, the weapons are good. I do like the way the game feels and all. It's a little bit slower paced than Advanced Warfare and all that. But it's just, this game is meant to be something that's a return to form. But in the end, when you look at it, it's just kind of them copy and pasting, you know, just what they've done before and just bring it over. Why not bring over some new game modes? They did bring one over. It's called War. It's more like of a, you know, a tug of war, almost like Battlefield 1. It feels exactly like that, just done worse. I think it was Battlefield 1's operations mode, you know, where you kind of push forward and push back. It's the same thing. It just feels, I'm telling you guys, it feels like worse. You have your team deathmatch, you have your headquarters, you have all these other modes, and then you have this one mode where it's just like, it's a one map only thing. So they're trying to tell you like, hey, you should buy the season pass or you can't play this map. It's really just there to kind of mock you guys who didn't get the season pass or people who didn't pre-order the game. You can't play that map unless you buy the season pass, which by the way, season pass is like $50. I'm not paying for that. You have your hardcore modes. You have Search and Destroy, which Search and Destroy is where me and my friends really spend the most time at, was Search and Destroy. And let me tell you, Search and Destroy, it's fun. It's the same Search and Destroy as we have played before. Just, it's, because it's the most strategic game in Call of Duty. Because people actually work with their teammates and stuff. I mean, you plant a bomb and you have to, you know, guard the bomb and stuff like that, or you have to defuse it. It's one of those modes where like you have one life and I mean, your goal is set, but it's really strategic, and you can mess up one player can mess up the game for you guys. And it's there, but the game still suffers from the fact that the maps are just too small. That is my biggest complaint, is that these maps, they are way too small, and they encourage camping way too much, and they encourage just the fact of just running around without your squad. It's just, it doesn't feel good. And then you also have this, little social area where it's basically, it's ripped off from Destiny. It's just Destiny the tower. All right, where you at? Where you at, bro?
There's a ball, but I picked it up by accident.
You picked it up?
Yeah.
The hell? It was up there?
Catch it.
Oh, dang. What? Bro, what is this? Oh, damn. I think there's hoops on the beach. Oh, go grab that thing. And you have these loot boxes that you get that can unlock possible grips, attachments, you know, just sights, rapid fire, all these other stuff that you would get for your soldier. You just can unlock them through loot boxes. There's even guns that encourage that they encourage you to use that you can get from loot boxes. They introduced that epic, rare, and legendary rating system as every other loot box game. So you can get these legendary guns, which are basically the same guns, but they just give you, these guns give you more experience for people that you kill. So like if I had let's just say I had an M9 pistol, I had a regular one, and then I would have an M9 legendary pistol. Basically, that M9 legendary pistol will give me 10 times more the XP, or 10% more XP than it would like any other player. So you can progress faster than other players. So if you got lucky and you got one of those weapons, you could be ranking up faster and prestiging faster than any of your other teammates because you got lucky with that loot box. Like, why do you do that? Sledgehammer straight up said that they were trying to be really politically correct and not to try to not offend people. But I think them doing that and trying to play it safe and be politically correct instead of just being correct, it broke the immersion. Like, there was no Nazi symbols or anything on certain maps online. They really just held the British forces, you know, flag or whatever. That's all there was. just everything that you could think of that happened in World War II. It was kind of like them trying to like just not offend people, which is really hard to do since in World War II, Germany just slaughtered a bunch of people. I mean, you can't get more offensive than that, especially when they were going after one specific group of people or anything, and they're trying to dominate everybody from like by their beliefs. It's hard not to offend anybody or create, you know, a game like that. It's just, it happened. Like, and this game does more. You would think that this game would do more to kind of inform their audience on what really happened, like the way Battlefield 1 did, and, you know, show some historical events, educate the player. But no, in the end, this game doesn't do any of that. And even the way they did in the campaign, how it just shows, oh yeah, you know, this was World War II, a bunch of people died, and then immediately it just throws you into like cinematic movie campaign stuff, and it's just like, there's no historical accuracy in this game. And not that not saying that I'm not trying to say that it's bad, but it's just when your game is going for it and you can tell that they're trying to do it while trying not to offend people, it's just, it doesn't work. I think that's where this game suffers, is that this game is not it's not pushing its boundaries, or not saying that this game doesn't work because it's trying to be too safe. That's what's going on. They're sticking with what works and everything, but they're not being bold about it. They're not trying to build up on this war conflict that actually happened and stuff. Now, they also have the Nazi Zombies mode. The Nazi Zombie mode it's Nazi zombies. Really, every Call of Duty game has to have it now, and I think that this game mode, it's there for fun and all that, but it's more the same. You've done it before. It's nothing that hasn't changed. This game had potential. There was a lot of stuff they could have done with this, but they didn't. They could have added air battles. They had one scene in the campaign I really liked where you're in an air battle or in a plane. It turned into something scripted, but it shows that they did it, but they didn't include it in the multiplayer. The multiplayer is where, you know, people would want to go and play, you know, the game and get the most out of the game. But when it just has the same modes that we've had before, it didn't change anything. You're running around like you always do, just shooting people randomly. It doesn't build that immersion. It brings nothing new to the table. It's the same game over and over, just with the World War II reskin. And I gotta say, I'm really disappointed in Sledgehammer Games. If anyone, I think if any of the developers that Activision has signed under could execute a good World War II game, you need to go with Infinity Ward. I really think that they've done it right before. They did it good with the Modern Warfare series, but in Modern Warfare 3, that's when the founders of Call of Duty, they were kicked out, so they left, and that's when everything went downhill. So I don't know if we'll ever get a good Call of Duty game that's going to live up to what it used to be, because right now I think that World War II Call of Duty is just a shell of its former self, and what it could have been, you see it, and you're just ultimately, in my opinion, I feel like I'm disappointed by what I got, because there's a lot of stuff they could have done, but it's not polished. And if they could have just had a little more time and introduced a few little like more new mechanics and stuff, I think we could have had a really good war game on our hands. But in the end, like I said, it's the same thing that we've seen before. I don't think this game is worth $60 or worth a $50 price tag for the season pass. Like, it's just more of the same, just Activision trying to get your money. So anyways, this game, I know it made a lot of money, so we're going to definitely see more Call of Duty games, probably another one next year, but I think that Activision, you need to take a break and kind of reevaluate what it means to like make a good game. But anyways, that's my review. If I had a number score for it or anything, I would just rate it, it would be an average. It'd be an average like 5 out of 10 or something, or maybe a 6, because there are some really good scenes in the campaign, but I would just say wait for a price drop, or you know, wait for Black Friday or something, because this game is not worth it at its current state. So yeah, I'm sorry that that's what I think of the World War II game. Am I going to play it more? Yeah, I probably will with friends. That's what this game is really for, is for a bunch of friends, you know, you and your friends to get around and play. But overall, if you're looking for a great campaign experience or something that's meaningful to historically or anything, it's just not here. I'm sorry. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video comes out the way I wanted to. I took a lot of time trying to edit it and just take a lot of work. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. And until next time, guys, remember when you guys are gaming, power up.